Hey, you guys, this is Mrs. Klein.
And Mr. Creighton.
We're here today for your podcast for Chapter 3, Lesson 3, Islam After Muhammad's Death. Okay, in the last section, you guys, we learned about the Prophet Muhammad and Islam. And in this lesson, you're going to learn how the Islamic Empire expanded and was governed after Muhammad's death. Okay, all right, just like always, we have the vocabulary terms, obviously, you're going to want to be responsible for. They are this time Caliph, Shia, and Sunni.
Alright guys, just a reminder, you can find all this information in the textbook on 99 to 103. The big idea for this unit, and we've been talking about this for a while, is belief systems influence people, cultures, and governments. Now we're going to take a look at our essential questions. The first one, how important is religion in our lives?
Next, how does religion and cultural diffusion shape society?
The third one, how do belief systems unify and create new identity for people?
And what are different ways that belief systems grow and spread?
And the final essential question, how does the interaction between people and belief systems solidify and change beliefs?
Okay, the first section in this lesson, you guys, is entitled New Muslim Leaders Emerge. You can find all this information on pages 99 to 100. And then be thinking about this question as you're listening to this section. Who were the leaders who spread Islam after Muhammad's death? Okay, Muhammad spread Islam across the Arabian Peninsula for more than 20 years. He had begun to establish an Islamic empire. Then, in June of 632, Muhammad died. Muslims were suddenly without a leader.
Muhammad had not named a successor. A successor is a person who replaces another person in an office or position. He also had not told his followers how to choose a successor. The Muslim community decided to elect Abu Bakr as Muhammad's successor. Abu Bakr was respected in his devotion to Muhammad and to Islam.
In 632, Abu Bakr became the first caliph, or successor. Soon, some clans on the Arabian Peninsula abandoned Islam. Others refused to pay taxes. A few individuals even declared themselves prophets. But Abu Bakr reunited the Muslim community by using military force. He brought Central Arabia under Muslim control. He also started to conquer lands to the north. Abu Bakr ruled for only 2 years. Okay? You should be able to answer this question after this lesson. What two major events happened in the Muslim community in 632?
All right, the next section we're going to be looking at is rightly guided caliphs. This can be found on pages 100 to 101. The question we want you guys to be thinking about, how did the caliphs who expanded the Muslim empire treat those that they conquered? All right, Abu Bakr and the next three caliphs had known Muhammad. They used the Quran and Muhammad's actions to guide them. Because of this, they're known as the rightly guided caliphs. Their rule was called a caliphate.
Abu Bakr died in 634. Muslims controlled most of Arabia by this time. Umar, the second elected caliph, ruled until 644. His armies conquered Syria and Lower Egypt. These regions had been part of the Byzantine Empire. Muslim armies also took territory from the Persian Empire.
The next two caliphs were Uthman and Ali. They completed the conquest of Persia. They also conquered the rest of Southwest Asia and parts of North Africa. By 661, the size of the Islamic Empire had increased nearly 4 times. This expansion was done through conquest or by treaty.
Muslims saw the military victories as signs of Allah's support. They were energized by their faith. In battle, Muslim armies were disciplined and highly skilled.
The Muslim success also resulted from weaknesses in the Byzantine and Persian empires. These two empires had been fighting each other for a long time. Their armies were exhausted. Also, the Byzantines and Persians persecuted people who did not support their religion. Persecuted people often welcomed Muslim invaders as liberators.
Many conquered peoples converted to Islam while under Muslim rule. They liked Islam's message of equality and salvation. There was also an economic benefit to converting. Muslims did not have to pay a poll tax. Muslims let conquered people keep their own religions if they wished to do so.
Jews and Christians received special treatment because they were people of the book. This treatment included being able to hold important roles in the Muslim state, but Jews and Christians were not allowed to spread their religion. The question you guys should be able to answer in your head right now, what regions did Muhammad's successors conquer by 661?
Okay, the last section of this lesson, you guys, is entitled A Split in Islam. And you can read along in your history book and follow along on pages 102 to 103. Be thinking of this question as we're getting into this section. How did the issue of choosing leaders divide the Muslims? In 656, a group of rebels murdered Uthman. His murder started a civil war. The logical choice for the next caliph was Ali. He was Muhammad's cousin and son-in-law. Muawiyah, a governor of Syria, challenged him, and in 661, Ali was assassinated. The system of electing a caliph died with him.
A family known as the Umayyads took power. Muawiyah, a member of this family, became caliph. The Umayyads set up their hereditary dynasty. This means that rulers would come from one family. The Umayyads also moved the Muslim capital from Medina to Damascus. Damascus was located in Syria. This location made it easier to control conquered territories.
Arab Muslims felt Damascus was too far away from their lands. Some of them were also upset about the Umayyads' lifestyle. The Umayyads had abandoned the simple life of the previous caliphs. Instead, they had surrounded themselves with wealth. These actions divided Muslims. The actions of the Umayyads also raised questions about how a leader should be chosen.
Most Muslims wanted peace, so they accepted the Umayyads' rule, but a minority they believed that the caliph should always be a relative of the Prophet. This group was called the Shia, meaning the party of Ali. Its members were called Shiites. Those who accepted the Umayyads and the rule of the elected caliphs were called Sunnis. This meant followers of Muhammad's example.
This split in the Muslim community became permanent, and it led to the collapse of Umayyad rule. The split, you guys, still exists today. All right, you should be able to answer this question now. What happened in 661 that greatly changed the governing of the Islamic Empire?
Just a reminder, guys, you will have a podcast quiz on this tomorrow, and a quick review of the terms: Caliph, Shia, Sunni.
All right, you guys, that's it. Take care.
See ya.